All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the live show. This is Starlight Beacon Transmissions, episode 61. Yes, we've done 61 shows between audio and audio and live over and over again. But we're back. It's your weekly Saturday night ritual now. My name is Eric Mitchell. I am one of your hosts. And tonight, once again, I am joined by one of my best friends slash co-hosts, Lavender the librarian. Lavender, I know it's been a tough week, but how are you?
Uh, I'm awake
Mm-hmm.
and I'm here,
Yeah.
and that's about all I can hope for at this point. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm awake and I'm here as well. But just want I'm just happy to have you here. I'm happy to have you here. I'm happy to have our guests here this evening. Um, I'll introduce them. So we have the creator of What Choice, the fundraiser that we're going to be talking about a little bit tonight at the top of our show. We have Ray. I guess I could just call you Ray. Ray Kenobi.
Sort of, I guess. My name is Rachel. I will also go by Ray.
Okay.
My Twitter handle is built on Stardust, if you've seen me on there.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I started a fundraiser for the National Abortion Foundation. It's really been a team effort with a lot of help. I've just kind of corralled people into helping out, and it's been going really well.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait to to talk about everything that's happened today, but also to geek out about Star Wars and have a good conversation about Star Wars. And then joining us tonight, we have a brand new member of our team. We here on the Beacon try to have a diverse team, which is why you see a lot of female team members because we want to we want to provide a safe space for everybody. So joining us tonight is Darth Ira herself. I got that right, correct?
Hello. Yes, yes,
Okay.
it's Ira. Yes. Um, that's my Twitter handle as well, Darth Irabox. You probably see me around as Ira, and I don't know, I make a lot of weird posts. So
No,
yeah,
it's fine.
I'm happy to be here.
I'm gonna call you Darth Ira from now on because that's just how I roll.
I
Commit to the
like
bit.
it.
Yeah,
Commit to it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can commit to that.
yeah. You
I've
got to
got that
commit
dark
to the
side,
bit.
you know.
Yeah, you got to commit to the bit. And then,
Careful. Last time I committed to the bit, I made somebody a Jeff Goldblum cross stitch to commit to
ooh,
the bit.
ooh,
Bless you. That's wonderful.
yeah, that's pretty
Quality.
incredible. Um,
Mhm.
that's that's pretty good. And then joining us later tonight, we are going to have um, John Byram joining us this evening as well. John is coming back from watching DC United get their butts kicked in Major League Soccer, so I can hold that just over his head later on tonight uh, as a moment of levity. Chat, holy crap, we have chat going here. My brother-in-law, how are you not asleep, Zach, from this birthday party that we had earlier? Like, how are you not asleep, dude? So we have Zach in the chat. Followers of the Force, one of the organizers behind our fundraiser that kicked off today. They're here. Melissa's in chat.
Oh, hi, Missy.
Tina, yes, Tina Roebuck, one of my close friends, is here as well. So yeah, chat is gonna be stacked tonight. We're gonna have a
I
good
just
time.
popped open that chat. Cool. That's
Yes,
awesome.
yes. So we're gonna have a good time tonight. Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom tonight. It's not all doom and gloom. We are going to talk Star Wars later on in the show, and Zach says he's falling asleep on and off right now. So,
I was just
uh,
saying before we went live that there's no one who gets more tired after a kid's birthday party than the kid's parents.
oh yeah,
So props for being with us, Zach.
Oh no, the kids have had the cake. They've had the Hawaiian punch. They're just like
oh
Oh yeah, they're lit.
you
Kids are still lit after a
you,
party.
you should have seen my
Liddy.
nephew. he like stuck his hand in the cake. He had he had the
Yes.
frosting
There's no
all over
way.
his mouth, all over his one hand, and he's just
Mhm.
walking around just like and I'm like, how are you not dead from all of this sugar? Yeah, okay, here's a photo of him trying to eat the cake.
Yes.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Um
I love it.
yeah.
That is how I wanted to be at my
Yeah.
30th birthday
Yeah.
party.
And then this was the aftermath as he's carrying his Blues Clues Josh around
Oh my gosh.
with
That's
And
super
him.
cute.
the icing.
Oh yeah.
So Josh came after Joe, right? I have that.
I believe
Steve,
Josh
Joe,
is the
Josh.
current host.
Okay.
Okay. There have been what, like four hosts? Three hosts. Okay.
Okay. I
It,
saw they were making a movie with all of them, and I remember the transition from Steve to Joe,
yeah.
but then I got out of the Blues Clues fandom.
I only even remember
Probably for the
Steve.
I
best.
just remember Steve, honestly. And then I remember that video that Steve posted that made all of us cry and it broke the internet. So there
That
is
moment
that.
when things were so bad that Steve from Blues Clues decided to address the nation.
Yeah, exactly. Melissa says, I want to eat cake like that. Absolutely. Who doesn't want to eat cake like
Yes,
that?
please.
Now,
Hey, Melissa, I'm out of quarantine. We're going to eat cake like that tomorrow.
yeah, there you go. Um, so we're gonna get into we're gonna get into a discussion, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go through some announcements, and then I'm also going to we're gonna go through some brief news, and then we're talking Kenobi because I think we
No,
all need to
babe.
talk about that. And
Obi-Wan!
I can't
Sorry.
yes,
stop
I
talking
couldn't.
about it.
I
It's
couldn't.
yeah,
fine.
I mean, we can't stop talking about it. If you've been living under a rock for the last 6 weeks, shame on you, and just watch the show. So here we go. Um, this week, you know what? I'm going to actually take a step back on this because I want to hear from Lavender, I want to hear from Ray, and I want to hear from Ira about this because this is so important, and I can only be your ally here, and I can only express to you how I feel as somebody who is married and has a wife that I want to make sure is okay. Um, so Lavender, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Eric. And I want to start this off with just a content warning in general that we are going to be discussing Roe v. Wade being overturned, and just kind of, some of the heavier content that comes along with that. So totally understand if anybody needs to jump out and join us a little bit later on, because it's a lot, and it's yeah, I'm totally like hanging on by a string. So, um, but yeah, no, it's definitely important for us to talk about it and use this platform that we have. Um, so okay, yesterday morning, was it like 10 o'clock? We get the news that Roe v. Wade has been overturned by the Supreme Court. That's almost 50 years of just constitutional protection for reproductive rights that is stripped away like that. And for those of us who are on the up and up with current events, we know that a couple months ago there was a leak from one of the justices' offices saying that this was coming. So it was kind of like, yeah, like it's happening. We just didn't really know when that other shoe was going to drop, and it was yesterday morning when many of us Americans with uteruses were at work. um, Yeah, that was not the best place to find out about that and then have to still be productive. Um, I will just say that I mean, first of all, it hurts that this is happening. I'm someone who I had an abortion 9 years ago that literally saved my life. Um, which like you don't really think of them as necessarily going hand in hand there, but I won't talk too much about that because it was kind of crazy and dramatic and basically like a horror movie plot, um, where like your body is the enemy. So, yeah. Um, yeah, like I think that's the biggest thing to take away from this, that abortion is healthcare. Abortion saves lives.
An
Whether it be,
abortion is nobody's business but the person who is getting the abortion.
yes, yeah,
And if it's a married couple, it's between that couple. That's it.
Mhm.
Or if it's
hmm
between partners, it's between them. That
yeah,
and it's their choice. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
I will
does.
even say to that point, I mean, it's, you know, whoever's got the uterus makes
Yeah,
the gavel drop. I mean, it's one of those things, obviously, like, as, spouses, like, people like to make
yeah,
decisions like that together, but I think ultimately it comes down to whoever's actually doing the incubating, which is
Absolutely.
kind of what I feel like at this point is just like the government thinks for incubators.
I mean, there's part of the leak was that whole thing about, well, there needs to be infants for adoption, and I'm like, cool. I love being a broodmare. I
Right.
was talking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say it's just ridiculous that in the year 2022, the year of Kenobi, we are dealing with um,
Year of space
essentially
Jesus.
women and anybody with a uterus having less rights than guns and being treated like cattle. The only things that don't have choice over their reproductivity is cattle.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. One, our Lord and Savior Obi-Wan Kenobi would not stand for this.
He would not.
No, he would not.
But
Never.
just it's scary. I live in Illinois, which is one of the states where abortion is protected because of two particular bills. There was House Bill 40, which passed a couple years ago, that made it where there's no trigger language in Illinois law. Trigger language, sorry if I'm explaining things you guys already know or that the viewers already know, that's what causes abortion to become illegal when Roe versus Wade overturned. On Friday, 30 days from that, a bunch of states just, whoomp, abortion's illegal. There's a few now.
22, I think, in general or overall.
Somewhere in there, there's another few states where abortion is severely limited now, and I believe there's two states where the last clinics shut down because their attorney general said you're done now.
I know West Virginia's done. They had one clinic in the state and they're closed.
Alabama is as well. I know I retweeted yesterday. There is someone on um, Twitter who works for a clinic in Alabama, and they're trying to transfer all their patients as fast as they can out of state. So anyone still on their books, they're trying to raise the money to send them to another state, and I think they were doing fairly well, at least the best they could. But Illinois has enshrined that right, so that's good. But we didn't do it without fighting for it. I was Now I don't use the Handmaid's Tale imagery as much because it can be problematic. But at the time, you weren't allowed to carry signs or anything into the Illinois State House. So the way we kept the legislature knowing that we were watching them was women dressed as handmaids and would sit in the state house every day they debated. You'll
I
find
remember
out
seeing that, yeah.
you will find out talking to me that I can't sit still for 5 minutes, and I
Same.
spent 5 hours a day for a while. I'd sit in the state house all day, change my clothes, and go to work all night because I worked afternoons. So, but it doesn't happen without people doing things like that and putting that in there. And that's so important now to look at how you can fight and where. But it's also I mean, there's places where it's so gerrymandered that nothing people can do will help. And it's helping people in those states as well.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot. I've just been getting hit by my Facebook memories, which is like, hey, remember 2 years ago on this date, you were protesting to get the Equal Rights Amendment in the Constitution because that's still not in the Constitution, where women still don't have rights in the Constitution. And oh, a couple more years ago today, you were at the State House in a handmaid bonnet. And I'm like, why do I keep having to do this?
And I think that's the important question is why?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is this so hard? for old white men to understand that it is not just about them. It is not about Christianity. It is not about just what they want. And I grew up in a conservative home. And when the abortion talk and Roe v. Wade overturning was starting to happen, and I was trying to talk to my parents, like, this isn't okay. Instead of them having an open mind, they started grilling me. Did you get an abortion? Did you get an abortion? Did you get an abortion? How dare you? Blah, 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 blah. Completely over their head because this is the rhetoric that they're
Mhm.
hearing.
Like the
And
demonization of people who have or will
exactly.
choose abortion. Yeah.
And you know what? At the end of the day, and I'm going to cuss, so here it comes. At the end of the day, it is nobody's fucking business what I do with my body, what anybody does with their body. Because I'm telling you one thing, if you are not going to pay my medical bills, if you are not going to find my baby formula, if you are not going to do anything, then you don't get to tell me what to do. And oh, we need babies in foster care. We need this, we need that. As Melissa said in the chat, there are already 400,000 children in foster care that they're not doing a fucking thing about because they would rather protect their guns and they just want to control. They
We're
just want to
not.
control everything.
Yeah. That's what all of this
And
is. It's control.
yeah,
Can I weigh in just real quick
Yes.
and for you know, if I overstep any bounds, please let me know. And if I say anything out of context, please let me know. But I also think that well, if you and I were under oath and we lied under oath, we would be arrested for perjury, correct? And we would be
Mhm.
thrown in
Yes,
jail.
we would be. Hmm.
All six of those justices need to be thrown in jail
100%,
for what they did.
Yeah.
100%. They all need to be put in jail
And
as
one of
well as
them,
all the people who want pardons.
Can
yeah,
we just do a team bird flip
yeah,
to
ready?
the Supreme
One
Court?
1, 2, 3. And you know
Right
what?
there.
And you know what? I'm allowing all of this tonight because we have every fucking right to be pissed off as
We really
Americans.
do.
We
Burn it
do.
to the
Yeah.
fucking
And you
ground.
know what? And I need to go off on a tangent here, and I'm going to real quick. I am so sick and tired of seeing people like that we have elected in this last election saying you need to register to vote because that's how we change things. No,
We
you
voted.
have three different places that you have control over that you can actually make real change in. And if I was Joe Biden, I'd walk into the Senate room, lock the door, sit down, tell each and every single one of those assholes to sit down, and we're not leaving until we solve this shit.
The
and
thing
so
is, we keep electing the lesser of two evils, except
Yeah,
for we don't talk about the last election before this
no.
one when
The one where we all
obviously everything
overreacted.
fucking failed and we had Trump. But
okay,
I'm gonna go
how
there.
many women cried on election night?
My my wife was inconsolable on election night because of that.
It was um my boyfriend at the time was in Amsterdam and I called him freaking out. I didn't know with the way things I didn't know if he was going to be able to get home. I thought I was going to be left with his apartment and his cat. But just like it's like every person just like you're overreacting. Nobody can actually first of all, fuck you.
Mhm.
Second of all,
Mhm.
everybody who said I just don't like Hillary, please, please just I get it. Nobody else is changing anything either.
Their
But
emails.
without these
Guys,
justices, this,
I just can't. Like
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, can we talk about how Nancy Pelosi read us a poem to feel better?
Oh, I talked
And
about
then
that
had the
shit at
fucking
work today.
audacity to ask for campaign money like
Yeah.
within an hour
I
after
just like
that.
muted
I just
all of
really
those
want to
Yes.
texts.
tell
Um,
the whole GOP to stop being cowards.
And you know what? If I was Joe Biden, I'd walk into her office and be like, "Read me another fucking poem, Nancy. Go ahead. Read me
It
another
like
solves so
poem."
many problems.
I
Yeah.
can never remember her name. That senator from Arizona that keeps like
Kirsten
Oh,
Gil or no, not Kirsten. Kirsten
um,
Cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
posting about how mad she was, and I'm like, you're one of the people that keeps blocking them from doing
Yeah,
things.
exactly.
Chaotic bisexual that our community does not claim.
And not
I was about to say that. We do not claim her.
We don't
One
claim her.
yeah. Oh,
one
and
of my friends
Pelosi.
right now is just so. One of my friends who's black just went. Just so everybody knows, Clarence Thomas, not one of us.
Yeah.
Y'all can have him, and I'm like, we
Well,
don't want him either.
two things real quick. And Zach actually just brought up a great point. Pelosi needs to fucking retire.
They all
Like,
do.
yeah,
If you
they
are
all
over
do.
if you're over the age of 65 and you've been in term for more than 4 years, you need to fucking retire because
Yeah.
boomers do not have our best interests
Nope.
in play anymore.
No.
No.
It is about keeping the wealthy wealthy
And that's why we need representation around our age in Congress to actually like really start taking steps towards this.
and
And
not
I
Matt
mean,
Yeah.
Gates.
look at how much
Well, don't even get me
the
Term
quote
limits,
unquote
absolutely.
squad. Yeah, how much the squad freaked everyone out because it was
Yeah.
younger women banding together, and oh my God, a couple of them might not have been white. None of
I
them
Yeah.
were.
know. Yeah,
Well,
I don't think any of them were right.
and then another thing is,
You just know what I mean. That oh my God, there's women that
mhm,
don't look like us doing things, and I'm like, oh, I love it when
abs-
people get mad.
absolutely. And another thing, if you're going after this, and we all know gay marriage or same sex marriage is next on Thomas's hit list. Here's another thing. Maybe we should question interracial marriage then if Clarence Thomas is going to be attacking marriage.
Did
I
did
think
you see
what we should
Samuel L.
do.
Jackson's tweet?
What's
Sorry.
that?
Samuel L. Jackson tweeted, "Oh, Clarence, are we going to look at Loving v. Virginia too?"
Oh
And I'm
yeah.
Yes,
like,
I
Yeah.
saw
"Oh,
that.
And I'm
oh,
sorry,
Samuel Jackson's mad."
didn't your wife try to overthrow the government? So she should be tried for treason. And under
Yeah.
the Constitution that you so dearly love, she should be killed because she's a traitor. So if we're
Sorry,
interpreting
Ira, I didn't
if we're
hear you.
interpreting Constitution here, I'm sorry, I don't mean to go off on a tangent about this, but if he has enough balls to do this, we should have enough balls to be like, well, Clarence, you're wrong.
I mean, actually, obviously not go after Loving
No,
v. Virginia,
no,
but
absolutely not.
just the
But
don't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
absolutely. You call him out on his bullshit. You don't go
Yeah,
after interracial marriage
no.
because that's a very important thing. And there are a lot of couples that I know that are in interracial marriages that,
It's
yeah,
like fucking half the US at this point. Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
They've already attacked half. Now they're just going
yeah,
for 3/4. And I wanted to
Exactly.
address real quick because
Sorry.
Tina said in the chat,
yeah,
please vote in local elections. You're
yes.
absolutely right. We know that we still have to vote. I'm tired of being told by these fucking politicians to vote when they don't do anything with that vote. So, yes,
Absolutely.
voting is still important and I'm still going to encourage that. But I just want them to like do
Read,
something.
Hmm.
read the room.
And
Read the room.
and real quick on voting, and I know that we're talking about term limits here, and absolutely, congressmen and women, senators should have term limits. But until that happens, your vote is their term limit.
Yes.
Yeah.
You voting them out of office is them reaching their term limit until we can establish term limits for these politicians. And
In
also,
addition, oh,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
I was gonna say, in addition to our votes, people like us running, like, people who are
Yes,
fucking mad and have the ability to do so,
yeah,
being the ones to run against them.
and it needs
We
to
need more
be,
AOCs.
yeah,
Yes, we do.
and it needs to be more blue collar Americans, normal everyday Americans that are running on these platforms and that are
And
running. Yeah, go ahead.
like Tina said, starting at the local level,
Hmm.
like you can't. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe a guy with no experience could in fact run for president and win.
Yeah,
Maybe that happens. I kind of don't like to think about it, but
no,
I mean, I have a friend here who ran for school board during because the way the schools were handling COVID policies, she was scared for her kids' health, so she ran. I have friends who are running for county boards and precinct trustees and stuff like that. You don't have to just go to the top. Start running in these local elections. And like
Yeah.
I said, with Illinois and other states like that, where I believe it's Montana has a congressional and a constitutional amendment on privacy rights, which is what Roe v. Wade was based on, was the right that the government had no right to know what your health care was. That's all done at the state level. So doing things, even paying attention to state races, and that might require paying more attention because I know in Illinois, occasionally we elect pro-life Democrats, which is the most aggravating thing on the planet.
Right.
But yeah, it's
But
just
yeah.
those matter too. It's not everybody wants to play up the presidential level,
Yeah.
but you have to also pay attention at the local level and write to those people. And at your state level, I mean, not everybody. I live in the capital city, so that's it's easier to get places. But you can walk into your representative's office when they're in your district and say, "Hey, I'd like to make an appointment and speak to the representative about whatever."
Yeah.
My representative's office is in the building I work in.
Nice.
He'll be hearing from me.
Oh,
But
good.
I'd be like,
more,
I need a weekly and daily lunch appointment,
yeah.
please. Like,
But two more things real quick about elections and everything. And then I want to get to what followers of the Force just said about media, because that is another very important thing right now. Um,
yes,
when it comes to, I'm just going to reiterate one thing that you said real quick, Rachel. Get involved in city council, county council, whatever you have to do. Get involved in those races. If you feel like you can make the change, get involved. Start raising the money for those campaigns. But one last thing, we need to get corporations out of politics and out
yes,
of the
Campaign reform.
yes. And that brings us to, as as Melissa said, that brings in campaign finance reform. It does. We need to get rid of corporations influencing elections, because that is another big problem with this country. Now, I suggest, I mean, what I believe everybody here agrees with me on that. Like, corporations have no say in what we should be doing.
Yeah.
Make your product, sell your product, but don't support anybody. And we found out the hard way with Disney with that. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, they also found out that
Yeah.
people were.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
You know, Disney will never fail to be completely hysterical to me because people on the left are like, "Hey, you're supporting a lot of politicians that don't do the things I say," and the people on the right are like, "They let two people hold hands of the same sex in a movie. It's terrible," and I'm like,
I
"Oh
will.
my god."
They're coming for our children.
Yeah. But we also I want to bring up the point that follows of the Force put in chat here, and that's about media outlets like Fox News, OAN, Newsmax, all of these media outlets that are trying to spin all of this as, well, the conservatives have your best interest all along. And look, my parents are fairly conservative, but they're leaning more towards moderate now, which I'm
Mine too.
very
Yeah.
happy for, because they're getting older and they're starting to see like a lot of things. But until that point, like Ira, I grew up in a conservative household, and like I was just beat over the head with these things. And if my parents are watching, I'm sorry, but I've gotta say this. Like, I've got to get this off my chest here. I was taught to hate everything that the Democrats stood for, but then, like, when I got older and I started voting, I did my own research, and that's when I started voting both Republican and Democrat, because there were some Republicans that did share my values that I did think would actually do a good job. Then there were Democrats that I shared values with that I thought would do a good job. And now it's one of those things where you shouldn't be defined by your party. If you feel like if you feel that a Republican actually has your best interest in heart, if you truly feel that way, then vote for that person. I'm not encouraging you to vote for that person, but make sure you do your research about it.
yeah. I
There's
think
a
that's
great site called Ballotpedia that when election cycles come up, they have a lot of, it's like Wikipedia where they have like sources and everything, and they'll show you like the breakdown of what candidates have said, and you can do that research.
Yeah.
The one thing I
I
also encourage people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're
oh
fine.
I was just gonna say, to go off of that, I think that one thing that's important to remember is like when I was growing up in the early 90s, the Republican Party actually could be defined as a party with actual values that they followed.
Yeah.
And along the line, as it got more corrupt and more greed and more money, 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 like policies got pushed to the side and it became a cult. And then when they allowed Trump to take the Republican stand and be elected is when not only did they lose all credibility, but they showed what their real values are: hatred, misogyny,
Yeah.
racism,
A-
sexism, homophobia, transphobia.
And
Those are their morals now.
and real quick to to just speak off of that. I think the last true Republican that you saw, well, I mean, there's two now. Well, three now. Um Mitt Romney was one of the last true Republicans that you saw. He might have been a little corrupt, but he actually stood for a lot of more values than a lot of
Yeah.
these other idiots do. I will also say this. Liz Cheney, if she ran for president, she would have my vote because of everything that she stands for.
I don't
And
know. She was still
Oh.
celebrating the end of Roe versus Wade,
Yeah,
and
she
those
was.
oh, then never mind then. Nope, sorry, Liz.
I'm
You,
nodding my hand for
yeah,
followers of the force here,
yeah.
not not
But
and
Liz
yeah,
Cheney.
but the thing is like you have my vote on the insurrection, not on Roe v. Wade.
I
That's
mean
all I'm gonna
that's
say.
the thing.
That's fair. Yeah.
Adam Kinzinger is from the area I grew up in. If you've heard of him, and one, everybody there hates him because he's against Trump, which is always really comfy when you go home and visit, and you're like, all of these people probably want me my bisexual ass dead. Um,
Yeah.
Great feeling,
McCain,
great feeling.
yeah, Tina just said McCain. McCain was actually the last true Republican.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I know. That
It,
was
it,
one of those elections where I was like, if he had won, I would have been like, okay, fine.
I
yeah,
mean, maybe, I mean, still not good,
I wouldn't have
but
liked it, but I wouldn't have been like,
I
we wouldn't have cried like we did on election
no,
night.
and
exactly.
he wouldn't have changed things drastically as Trump did
No.
because McCain would have worked across the aisle when it came to a lot of things. I think because of just
Mhm.
how many years he has as a senator. I'm sorry, Rachel. Uh, are you good?
Oh no, I was just gonna say also just with Trump, it became this rampant. I mean, I know everybody uses the phrase cult of personality, but this cult of personality
Yeah.
that just became I'm
It
brash,
is.
I don't give a shit what you
Yeah.
say,
But it is a
and
cult now.
It
it is.
is.
It is.
It
I mean,
is.
look at what the Texas Republicans did. I mean, other than the
Yeah.
fact that they're banning trans affirming healthcare because, like, why not? Let's torture some more people. It's great. And also with their abortion bans, but they just basically their party platform for the entire state says we don't believe Joe Biden is the legitimate president. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're in a cult. You are
Oh
in a
yeah.
cult. Please call somebody.
And
I
I
have to.
go ahead.
Oh, I was. You go first because I was
Uh,
gonna go off of what Melissa in chat said.
well, I just want to say real quick. I work with a person that like is a legit conspiracy theorist like that.
Oh, they're
Um.
fun.
Oh, every day I hear her spout bullshit, and it just pisses me off. And like I have to walk away because if I know if I confront her, I may lose my job.
We don't
Yeah.
want to happen.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I just wanted to, go off of what Melissa said. Stop with the primaries. We have to pick a party. And
Mhm.
not only that, but they really, really, really need to start listening to the popular vote because Bernie got fucked.
Oh, he did.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that we would have seen a very different election if they would start listening
I would like
to
to see
what
ranked
the people
choice.
actually want.
Yeah. But that's the problem. They don't listen to what the people want.
No.
They don't.
Exactly.
They listen to
It's
what
supposed
they're
to be a party for the people, and it
yeah.
isn't.
Well, and I love what followers of the Force just said here in chat, where he says we need to remove the R and the D from people's names when they run for our office. Force people to do that research. So many people blindly vote down the party line today, especially the Republicans, and that's
Yeah.
true. And we're getting into a gray area here. Like I said, vote your conscience. That's all I'm going to say. Vote your conscience, but we do need to get rid of political parties. It needs to be
Or at
for the
least get more
people.
than two.
Yes.
Exactly. But I mean,
Yes.
how many? You'll see libertarians and stuff on the ballot, but nobody ever takes them seriously. And I don't want to discredit that party and the people that work hard to represent that party. But until you start getting legit third parties in the elections, you, all you're going to get are just it's a two-party system, and that's not fair.
I'm going to actually bounce off of that, and I'm going to say that they are legitimate parties that are third parties. It's
Yeah,
that um, the people that are so extreme on the R and the D, they delegitimize things that people want.
yeah,
These other parties are literally speaking for the people and representing what people actually want,
yeah,
and they are only delegitimized by people and their greed and what they think should be like the standard
yeah,
for how things are done. And we need to get away from the two-party system, and we need to have it
yeah,
be a group of people who are willing to sit down and work together on every side of the fence and like figure it out together and make decisions together.
yeah. That's the major issue here, is that we need to put aside the bullshit, and we need to work towards a common goal. And right now, that common goal is protecting women's rights.
And gay people.
And,
And we've circled.
yeah, and
Yes.
that's what I wanted to do.
Now
But
that we've circled back, I
yeah,
did have a couple of other things that I wanted to
yeah,
mention.
sure. Sorry.
Especially. Oh no, it's okay. I figured we would get back here. um, but just with Roe v. Wade being overturned, like I know a lot of us right now are upset and hurt, and those of us who aren't, and are like wanting to like mobilize and like do things to help, um, and maybe don't necessarily know how to start. I will say that uh, What Choice with Rachel, that's a great place, a wonderful place for any of us to have started. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for organizing that.
Yeah,
And I
It's
can't
yeah,
believe how raised so much money.
yeah,
so much. I have been speechless all day, and I don't want to take credit because it's been so many people. I just had a lot of time and was very angry. I'm not gonna lie, that is the entire thing that happened. I've just been organizing since people protest since Trump was elected. So when it's this coalition that wanted to do something, it's like, let's go.
mhm,
And it's been amazing. And that's what I can suggest that people do is the same kind of thing. Pull your resources with people, see what you can do. Are you in a state where abortion is legal? There's probably a group in your state or in a neighboring state that makes sure that other people can get there.
yeah,
Don't try to reinvent the wheel. I appreciate everyone posting, "Oh, hey, if your state can't do camping, come camp with me." And that's great if to let your friends know that you're available for that. But
Yes.
that's only your friends. If you honestly have a spare room, look if there's a network in your state. They might be hosting people who are over the deadline in the neighboring state, and they might be vetting people for that purpose.
yeah,
Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Try and find existing networks that are doing what you want to do and tap into them. That's why we weren't going to try and fund our own thing. We found a place, which is the National Abortion Foundation, to join up with and give them the money because they did the kind of things that we wished we could do, which is they run hotlines and direct people to their options, as well as having multiple funds. One of them is for those who cannot afford abortions, which is it's a fund. I wish I had the name. It was named after their old hotline director, and the Dr. Tiller Fund, which helps women who have to travel for abortions after Dr. Tiller, who is the man who was killed all greeting people at his church because, Christians are so pro-life. But he was greeting people at his church and he was killed because he was a doctor who performed late, quote unquote, term abortions in a state where people were allowed to have that, which was most of the time life of the mother, severe fetal anomalies, stuff like that. But he was killed at his church for providing health care to people. And one, that's wrong. Two, if you're so pro-life you're going to murder somebody, please look at your choices. And three, that's not an isolated case. There's threats on Twitter right now. If you're going out to protest, please be safe. People are trying to run their cars into protest. People are getting tear gassed. The cops, Miranda rights went down earlier this week. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But be safe. Help those who can. Lift up poor communities and communities of color. It's going to affect them a lot more than those with money and privilege.
Yeah.
But yeah, just find where you can help, and help is the main thing. And keep your eyes out, because if next could be contraception,
Yeah.
it could be sodomy laws, which are usually leveled against the LGBTQ population, but technically would also outlaw blowjobs. So if you want a campaign point for men, might be that one.
Because who doesn't enjoy a nice, yeah,
We'll
Just
just
saying,
strike.
yeah, yeah.
not to get
Strike.
not to get crude,
No,
but
no,
I
no. I
mean,
get it. I get
they're
it.
not only coming for your pills, they might be coming for your happy fun
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Those assholes on the Supreme Court have had a very busy week this week.
They have.
With
They're
overturning
having a
stuff.
great time.
Oh yes. Um,
I still
real
had
quick.
just
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lavender, and then
I'll just make these points real quick.
yeah.
Just
No, you're
just my
fine.
last little bullet point
Sure.
addendums. Um so yeah, those are wonderful ways to help. Probably don't need to donate to ginormous places like Planned Parenthood. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's always good, but like right now there are probably other
Oh, they're
organizations that could
swamped
use
with
it.
cash.
Yes. And then of course, we have to remember too the intersectionality of this, and that uh the language that we're using around it, that it's not just affecting women, it's
Yeah.
affecting anyone who can become pregnant. So anyone with
Anyone
a
with a
uterus.
uterus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's including like our trans masc brothers, our non-binary siblings.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's a very important thing to make sure that we're always including them in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then of course, just listen to people who are
Yeah.
going through this. Hey, no, off the YouTube.
Um.
But yeah, it's a lot. It affects
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah.
Um, I hate to have to say that she's someone's sister, but I'm assuming everybody listening loves someone who could become pregnant.
Yeah.
Yep,
If
exactly.
this goes farther, if it's ectopic pregnancy, the only treatment for that is considered an abortion. If it's
Yeah.
something like a missed miscarriage, the only treatment for that, there's a case in Ireland. The fetus still had a heartbeat, so the woman wasn't allowed to have an abortion. She was septic and she died.
Oh.
The baby died when she did, but before that, it had a heartbeat, so its life mattered more than hers.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, not to like go into too much detail, but that was exactly why I had one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's healthcare.
Yeah. It is.
At the
It
end of the
really
day, it's
is.
healthcare, and
And
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be here without it.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Ira. You want to say
glad we
something,
were
or
able to
Rachel?
be here.
Yeah.
It's
They,
just,
Go ahead, Rachel.
I'm
I'm sorry, I
sorry.
don't mean to talk. I don't
We're
No,
know.
it's
all over
okay.
the
There's
place
like a
right
weird
now.
lag, and we're all just
I've
worked
never,
up.
We're all,
Like, it's okay.
I've never done a stream on Discord before. I don't know
no,
what the signs.
you're fine. I'm just gonna start pointing at you whenever you want to talk. No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
it.
Go ahead. I've talked a lot.
Yeah, go ahead, Ira.
I just want to say, as a mother to a daughter, uh, waking up yesterday, am I upset for myself? Yeah, obviously. I'm pissed on behalf of my daughter because right now she may only be just about 2, But if shit doesn't change now, her life is going to be that much worse.
Yeah.
And I just find myself looking at her throughout the day and just being like, there's an awful lot of audacity happening in this country to affect my child, and not just my child, but anybody who has a daughter,
Yeah.
anybody who has to deal with people that to force someone to have a child. I still have not lost the baby weight. I still have postpartum issues. I
Hmm.
still have a lot happening. And for you to force people to go through that, to force children to go through it, there is a very special place in hell. And I think they need to realize that, yes, they've upset us, but they've pissed us off. And
Yeah.
hell hath no fury like a woman's.
Absolutely. Um.
And
Yeah.
And that's just it affects me personally. I'm a woman. I was talking before we came on the stream. I don't hate kids. I love kids. I'm a very devoted aunt. I have chosen I do not want children, and the fact that somebody can take that choice away from me pisses me the hell off. I do not want kids. I want those options open to me. But I'm looking at some of my honorary nieces and nephews, and some of them are girls who are about where if something happened, they could become pregnant. And that's the scariest fucking thing in the world to me, that one of my babies could be forced into that situation because some old man thinks that his religion is more important than her life.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I just don't think people realize that, like, especially men in public, it's going to be a different world for them
oh my,
because men, or excuse me, women and our non-binary, and anybody with a uterus that can be affected by somebody who thinks that the word no is optional is going to learn that it is no. No means no. Because if you're gonna fucking force me to have a kid, then if you come at me, I'm going to make sure that you have medical bills.
Yeah. Um.
The best way
um,
to put that, yes.
the uterus, the people who own uteruses
Yes, thank
are
you.
very upset.
Yes.
And I don't think people realize women as a whole are 51% of the population. If you include our trans, non-binary siblings, we probably outnumber you.
We do.
And just sit with that. Just sit.
And this is why we're an open community. And
Yeah.
not making light of
Mhm.
it. I'm just saying
No,
that
no.
this is why
No.
we're an open community because we need everybody to be represented
Yeah.
here. Um.
And if
That's
and
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, I know that nobody is like around me, but if you ever are in a situation and you need help, like, it is on site, my friends. I'm
Yeah.
scrappy. I will come to bat for you. Like,
Mhm.
I don't
Same
give a
here.
fuck. Like, I will protect people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
it.
real
I don't know
quick.
if anyone saw my pin, but it's my Be Gay Do Crimes cat. So
I love it.
I'm trying.
like, yeah, I may not look it, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, Ira.
I will throw an elbow.
I will throw elbows. I will pull out the mace. I've always got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
And
my kids are older than yours, Ira. They're almost 9 and 11. So I'm really in that stage where this is messing with me
hey,
pretty
I
bad.
can only imagine.
I'm always down to throw some bows against some old dudes. I'm
Mm,
always down to
We need
throw some
it.
bows.
We need
Um,
it. And
so
bricks,
yeah.
whatever.
So by bows I mean elbows. Yeah. So real quick, I just want to congratulate the What Choice the What Choice GoFundMe. I just checked this a little bit ago. We have raised $12,139
Oh my
today.
God.
Just starting at 9 a.m. today. This movement has legs, and I wouldn't be surprised if we broke 20,000 by the end of the weekend.
Can I just
Um,
say, fucking hooyah, Star
yeah.
Wars fandom, because between this and the Amidala Initiative,
Oh,
Oh, and
people are
absolutely.
coming out and showing support. And I know that the Star Wars community can be a cesspool at
Hmm.
times, and we all deal with people like that. Um, but it's times like this where I feel like there is more of us than there are of them,
There,
because
there are.
there's
to pull
There
out
are.
that much funding that fast, like, holy crap,
Yeah.
guys,
And
we
amazing.
and
Every
real
share helps, every dollar
Yeah,
helps. It really
absolutely.
does.
And real quick, my wife actually shared, just handed me her phone. There's a independent store called Lantern Pins.
Yes, the I
That
Rebel pin.
Yes, the I
Yes.
Rebel pin is you can purchase it now. It's pink and it's gold. If you purchase it, all proceeds go to abortion funding.
Yes,
100% of the
she
proceeds
I'm
go
gonna
to
need it.
abortion funding.
she has
Going on now.
completely funded it. Let me show
Yeah,
you guys a picture so that all of the proceeds are going towards
yeah,
that. It
Lantern
looks like
Pins is
this.
wonderful.
yep, yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yes.
You guys gotta
and she
um
has over 100 orders so far.
Yep, they're
Uh,
only
this
$10. They're
that
very
this
was yeah,
affordable.
fund
that was
is named
as
What Choice
hmm
because Jin Urso is my girl. And
oh
when Meg
yeah,
came to me, yes, if you guys have not figured out my brand on Twitter yet, it's Rogue One. It's all Rogue One. I'm
yeah,
going to be absolutely insufferable when Andor comes out.
You've cosplayed Jin before.
I
yes,
have. If I turn my camera off, that's the avatar you see. But I cosplay Jin. I do it with my friends, and I read the script every year for my birthday. It's a whole thing.
nice,
But Meg came to me, and when she said, "Well, why don't we use something from Jin's? What chance do we have?" The question is, "What choice?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm actually making a sign for Planned Parenthood rally that where I finished half of it at one party, finishing the other. But that's the quote I'm
yeah,
carrying on my sign. The question is, what choice? Because we may not have a chance to reinstate Roe v.
yeah,
Wade. It's out of the gate. We can't do anything about that
yeah.
now. But what choice do we have but to fight?
Hmm.
Damn right.
So,
Um,
and the other thing I keep thinking of is my friend Melissa, who's in the chat,
mhm,
always sets as her Facebook banner. Post quote from Rise of Skywalker: "Good people will fight if we lead them."
yeah,
That's all it is sometimes people need a little direction, and if you can take the reins and help people do something, people will surprise you.
and
Yeah.
I just want to say this in closing. This has Lavender and I are huge fans of the High Republic, the initiative that came out last year. And Ira, I guess you're a High Republic fan too.
I love it.
Rachel, are you a High Republic fan?
I
Yeah.
am.
Okay,
I
so
just read all the books.
this makes us feel like we are all the Republic. This is that message of unity and hope that Lena So and the Jedi Knights in the High Republic have. And
It really
Light and
is.
light.
yeah,
For
it's
light
for light
life.
and life. And we are all the Republic. And when one of us is hurting, we all come together. So I just want to
We
congratulate.
are the spark.
We are the spark that will burn
Ignite the
down,
fire.
that will ignite the fire that will burn down the tyranny. Um, but I just want to say congratulations once again, Rachel. Thank you for allowing all of us to be part of this amazing movement.
Thank you all for joining. It's not me, it's all of us, but
Yeah.
if I can be one part that helps organize it, I'm so happy to.
Yes. I also so we're gonna move on to the fun stuff now. But I have two announcements that actually coincide with what we did today. So I put out a challenge. At first, when the fundraiser started, I put out a challenge saying if somebody in the community donates $25, I'll do a 4-hour live stream right here on the YouTube channel of Jedi Fallen Order. That is happening Monday night now because somebody donated $25.
I love it.
Also, that will be Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Then I put out the challenge. Yeah, I'm doing it early. My wife's like, "What? How come you didn't talk to me about this?" Sorry, honey. Um, then I put
Is
out
she gonna
another.
join us though?
She could join us. Then I put out another challenge. If the community collectively donated $100, we would do a table read of Tempest Runner.
Oh,
Guess
yeah.
what? It's happening, and I'm in
Yes.
the process of casting it now.
Where do I
Awesome.
submit my audition tape? Because
Right?
We'll talk later about that. But yes, yes. So if you want to get involved in the table read for Tempest Runner, I'm going to reach out to Lucasfilm and make sure that it's okay because it is, as Lavender told me earlier, it is a copyrighted piece. So I just want to make sure that it's good. But if it's for charity, if it's for a fundraiser, I'm pretty sure they'll let us do it.
I was gonna
Plus,
say alternatively, we might be able to do it just in the Discord and not stream
yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah, that's true. So join
So
our Discord and hang out with us, and we'll do a live table read of Tempest Runner. Um,
they
I
won't let us stream it. You could even say if people like donate,
yeah,
donate to we ask for a $5 donation if you're going to watch.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So
I just wanted
yes,
to add really fast,
yeah,
like, can you just see like the small potatoes that we were thinking earlier in the day as far as like the fundraising?
yeah,
Because we're like, oh, like, $25, $100. And then all
yeah,
of a sudden, like fans have turned up.
yeah. They really
I
have.
have made some mistakes in my life, and one of them was earlier today posting that anybody who donated $100, I would live watch the Star Wars Holiday Special with them.
Ooh,
Yeah.
My friends.
That's
you
what
are
I do on
gonna
my
need
birthday.
you are gonna need a lot of alcohol and a lot of people to riff that with.
I have
Take an
seen it, and
edible.
my
Yeah,
friend,
take an
who's the
edible.
one who made me watch it with him during COVID, he said, "Let's
Ooh.
watch this." We watched all the other stuff, so I said, "Okay, we'll watch it." Well, he has his own podcast where he gets a decent amount of patron money and donations and
Hmm.
stuff. So they chose to pass it on and donate $100 so they'd get to watch it with me again. I'm like, I love you. I hate you. And then Odie and I are watching the Star Wars Holiday Special. So if y'all want to hear that nonsense,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's
I want to be
happening,
a fly
baby.
on the wall of that room. Um,
I'll
so
watch it with you.
so
Shots,
those
my
are the
friends.
two
Shots.
big announcements. So those are coming. So we will be posting a Discord link on our Twitter page after the show. So don't forget to join our Discord. We'll have you as part of our community, and we will get that table read going. Also, join me on this channel Monday night. So let's get into at 9 p.m. Eastern for Fallen Order. So let's get into a brief bit of news. Speaking of holiday specials, and there's a couple of Lego holiday specials now on Disney Plus. Well, guess what? We're about to go
Quality.
to Scarif for a beach party.
I
First
can't
of
wait.
all,
Weird Al.
Yeah,
party
I was just
song
about to say
is
that.
rude.
Um,
Rude.
and we are not alone because Weird Al is coming with us to Scarif, and we are gonna have the Scarif beach party, and I am going to listen to that song on repeat every single minute of the day once it comes out.
Y'all
I
want to
just
hear
made my
Weird Al like
husband
I.
I
Huh?
just made my husband watch the video for The Saga Begins the other night. It
Oh,
like
that's
popped up
so
as a
good.
suggested video on my YouTube and I was like he's like, "Why is this on here?" I'm like, "We're watching it. We're watching it. We have to."
So
I
Sing
believe
along.
I said that if we raised enough money, I would make the entire group that's on the live watch or the live stream tomorrow do a sing along of that song, but it might
mhm.
just be me in my terrible recovering from COVID voice.
Oh
I'll
no.
sing The Saga Begins with you. That's not a problem. I love that
Okay, so
song.
funny story. I used to love that song. Like my friend and I played it constantly. I'd never seen The Phantom Menace. I didn't know what it was. It was on one of my Radio Disney CDs. But I
Oh,
just I just loved the tune. Like the tune was so good. And then I found out it was like a parody of American, but I was like 7. So I just knew that I loved that tune.
yeah.
And so I could sing the entire lyrics of that song before I ever saw The Phantom Menace because I didn't see a Star Wars movie until I was 18 and I wasn't a Star Wars fan until I was 23.
Ah,
Nice.
fake fan.
Yeah, so real quick, I've met Weird Al twice now.
Oh,
That's
Um,
such a cool
I
dude.
I met
he
him
seems
in
awesome.
2000 when he played at a harness horse racing track in the middle of the eastern shore of Maryland. And that was his Running with Scissors tour, so that was right when The Saga Begins came out.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
what was this? 3 years ago, 2019 at AwesomeCon. Here I am with Weird Al.
Oh my
Have you
gosh.
guys seen the new the like stills for the new movie? Daniel Radcliffe is playing him, and
Oh
he
my God,
looks
he looks so great as
great.
Weird Al.
It's the
Yes,
weirdest casting, but I'm really excited for it.
I'll be watching it.
Daniel Radcliffe can sing.
Yeah.
He
Like,
can, yeah.
you've seen his videos from How to Succeed in. He's great.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So
Sorry,
no,
Peter
it's
Geek.
fine. No, it's fine.
Daniel Radcliffe in a Star Wars when?
I would love Daniel Radcliffe in a Star Wars
Okay,
movie because you could give him
you
a
know what,
buddy cop comedy.
Daniel Radcliffe, give Bryce Dallas Howard a Star Wars.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Let Diego Luna touch Jabba the Hutt.
Here's one thing. Since Taika's doing a Star Wars movie, put Daniel Radcliffe in that Taika Waititi Star Wars movie
Oh
because
yeah.
it would work.
I am kind of scared for his Star Wars movie because the man's a
Not.
genius, but he's
Oh
also
yeah.
completely
Oh,
nuts.
it's gonna be off the wall. It's
I'm
gonna
I
be
hope
off the
it's
I'm
wall.
about
scared.
Hondo.
Oh,
I
oh
hope
my
it's a
God, that would be
Taika
amazing.
Waititi Hondo movie.
Yes.
Yes.
So
I don't know.
so we're getting another Lego special that is a holiday, it's a summer holiday special. And while the first one focused on Rey, the second one focused on Poe, this one focuses on Finn, and we
I'm
get to
here for
see
it.
the Lego version of the Halcyon also, which I'm
Yes.
here for. And then we get Ben Kenobi wearing a Hawaiian shirt officiating a Hutt wedding. Done.
And
This is
speaking of
quality
Ben,
content.
It is
Ben
quality
Solo
content.
flies the Falcon.
I'm
And Ben
solo
Solo
flying the
flies the
Ben
Falcon.
Falcon.
Solo!
So we are excited. And then I love when 3PO says we're on holiday and he puts on holiday sweaters. And
Not that kind of holiday.
Finn's like, no, no, it's not that kind of holiday. Um, but yes, how excited are we for this?
I'm very
Hella.
excited. We
Yeah,
need that brevity or levity
we
now.
do.
We do.
We
One
do.
of my friends, actually, when I'm done with this or sometime in the next couple days, is like, we need to watch Sweater Poe. Sweater
Sweater
Poe
Poe.
is the original Christmas Lego special.
Yes.
But Melissa, I know you're in this chat. We will watch our Sweater Poe.
Sweater Poe.
Yes. Sweater
Sweater
Poe is
Poe is
great because I think he was trying to cook the Ronto using the Falcon's
yeah.
engines.
The tip
He
yip.
was.
The tip yip.
Yep.
The tip yip, yeah. Using the Falcon's engines. Um
Have you
uh,
ever made tip yip before? No.
It's gonna be great.
My
so we have that. Yeah.
Poe is my chaotically bisexual dumbass.
I
Okay,
I love how
we
dumbass Poe
claim
is.
him.
Yep.
It's just
Yeah.
He's definitely well, that's one we'll claim. Kirsten
Yeah.
Cinema, no.
no.
Poe Dameron, yes.
I think you could also claim Zori too. You could claim Zori.
Zori feels pretty. I feel like Ray could be
Yeah, Ray
bisexual.
definitely.
I feel she's got a vibe.
Finn maybe.
I
Are you
feel like
kidding me?
Han.
Finn and Poe should have
Finn
been
and-
the
Finn and
hot
Poe
Finn and Poe
are-
pair.
should have been
I was
together.
the only
Absolutely.
one. Like, I wanted them to be together, but people are like, "Oh, they put in Zori to try and make him seem straight." I'm like, "Nope, it just confirmed he's just a disaster." By
No,
just
no,
a
he
disaster.
Have you read Free Fall?
I'm
I
not.
need to read Free Fall.
Okay, Free Fall makes it very clear that like they're like attracted, whatever, like they got like a little thing, but he's like very disinterested.
Disaster by.
Disaster by.
So we
Also,
have
Han
that.
Solo also disaster by because
Oh.
he and Lando were married. This is my canon.
Pando.
Oh yeah,
Pando Calrissian.
Hando Calrissian. Yes, there we go.
Hey, it's
So
Pride Month. We got to celebrate all of
no, we
our
do.
LGBTQ Star Wars
We
faves.
do. We do. I think that was like the only news. Oh, I did get an advanced digital copy of Padawan, so I am going to be reading that.
I did as
Um,
well.
Oh,
I'm
Yes.
super excited. And then Shadow of the Sith comes out on Tuesday, which I am super excited for that book. Uh, because I want to see what happens with this story with Ogia Bestoon.
I've heard great things, and it
Mhm.
comes from Followers of the Force, David's. I'm a co-host on that podcast,
Yeah.
but He doesn't like Rise of Skywalker any more than I do, but he read it and he said, "Oh my God, I want to rewatch it because there's so much more in here." And I'm like, "Okay, you have my attention.
You're fixing that movie with the books.
It's fine.
And
It's all fine. We're all fine here.
and
How are
I
you?"
think
There's going to be
The
a lot
readers
of
are
books
doing
to
great.
fix.
and
Yeah.
I think you're gonna see that sequel trilogy get more and more fleshed out as we move on past it. We're gonna get a lot more books. We're gonna get a lot more TV stuff. I think involving the sequel trilogy. Um, so let's move on to our main topic here, and that is a little TV show about Jar Jar Binks that just
I
wrapped
really
up.
wish he would have made a cameo. I might have been down for that if Obi-Wan
And
saw
made Jar
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 Jar.
again.
Yeah.
If Obi-Wan saw Jar Jar again, I might have cried. Okay, I was emotional.
Um, Kenobi just wrapped after 6 amazing episodes, and we were going to recap 5 and 6, but I think we just have to recap this whole show because this was what I wanted in a Kenobi series.
And they
Um,
stuck the landing.
oh, they
Like so
did,
many things cannot stick the landing. They stuck the landing.
Yeah.
and I think out of the live action shows that we've gotten, this is the best one that they've done. Um, Book of Boba Fett had identity issues, especially in 2 of those episodes. Lavender, you and I talked about it at
We
length.
did.
And then The Mandalorian's fun. It's just it suffered from Luke Skywalker in that show, and so did the Book of Boba Fett. Honestly,
Yeah, but that episode where it was Fennec's story, that one was fire.
oh,
I want that
I love
show.
Yes,
it.
it was.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to hear your thoughts on Kenobi. Rachel, we know that they stuck the landing. Um, we're going to start with Ira, then we're going to go with Rachel, then we're going to go with Lavender, and then I'll share my thoughts here. Ira, thoughts on Kenobi before we just dive into the spoilers?
Oh, oh, man. Every time I think about it, I think of something new and I cry.
Yeah.
It's just there is something so beautiful about the little nuances and the nuggets of meaning that were brought not only to the prequels, but to specifically A New Hope.
Hmm.
Um, I think that, you know, it only enriched what we already have. And there is just something so special about seeing Leia and Obi-Wan have this relationship and, realizing that her lightsaber is designed after him. Her son is named after him. Like hearing her reach out to him and say, "You're my only hope." Ooh. Sorry. It's just it hurts a lot more now, and my it was just such a my prequel kid heart is so happy. Like, that's the best way to
Yeah.
put it, is this show just really made me feel like a kid again and brought so much depth to characters that were already my favorites,
Yeah.
and I just, can't get enough. I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Rachel, go ahead and give us your thoughts.
I loved this show. I will admit, the prequels are not my favorite era of Star Wars. Nothing against them. I'm a rebel and I'm a resistance fighter, and it's just that's my thing, and that's what I watch my Star Wars for. But oh my God, I love Ewan McGregor as Kenobi. He just has such a beautiful just love for this role, and it shines through. You can tell to an extent when actors don't like their roles. I mean, we all know Harrison Ford has issues with Han Solo or whatever, but he still does a good job. But just that love that Ewan has for this role shines through, I feel. And to bring back Hayden Christensen to fill in this story between this time that we don't know what Obi-Wan did, it was beautiful. All of the story beats. Deborah Chow, the fact when she directed for The Mandalorian, I might have cried. I work for a diverse theater company, and I run a play festival for plays written by women, because women only write about a third of the plays produced in the US. They direct less than half of them as well. But to see Star Wars directed by a woman, to see this show ran by a woman be this good, please let Deborah Chow make whatever she wants. Just hand her the checkbook. It's fine. Just to see that, and that she directed all of it, just it's this beautiful cohesive piece. And I loved it. And they stuck the
Yeah.
landing, and they gave me all of the emotional beats I wanted.
Absolutely.
Um, but yes, it's something about that we're getting more diversity in the voices that are represented in our Star Wars can only be a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Lavender, go ahead and give me your thoughts on, or give all of us your thoughts on Kenobi.
Um, well, now that I'm done eating noodles and listening to um, you guys touched on a lot of the things that I was thinking. So definitely, like, I haven't watched it again yet, but I need to watch A New Hope like this weekend after having seen this series because, yeah, like the connections with, Leia's lightsaber and with Ben Solo, I just, it's so much deeper now. And yeah, I just need to watch that like with that fresh perspective from the show. Um, I really, really love that we got to see little Leia. I think that just like for me as a parent, being able to share that with my kids was like super exciting because like they loved her, I loved her. I see so much of them in her and her in them, vice versa. So yeah,
I would
it
die
was
for
just
her.
right. Like, oh my God,
Lola.
protect at all costs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what I love, um, especially, oh my God, when Obi-Wan told her the qualities that she got from her mom and dad, I was pretty beside myself because it's not just like what he said that she got from them. It's these are characteristics you got from your mother and gifts. When he said gifts, ooh,
Gifts. Yeah.
I'm gonna cry again. When he said gifts from your father, I was just like, man,
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even be eloquent
Pride.
about it because I'm just like so upset.
And
Yeah.
right after that, because there's Star Wars has a lot of adopted and found family, and Leia heard this, and it almost put her at peace with her birth because she has to wonder. Everyone does. But then she looks to Bail and to Briha and says, "Okay, I know enough. I've heard enough. I know where I belong." And it was just this beautiful of both sets of parents.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm gonna cry now. It's great. We're all gonna cry.
So while we're composing ourselves real quick, which is fine, which totally fine. Um, I have to say they they stuck the landing with each episode in this series. This was the perfect length. 6 episodes was all you needed for this story, honestly. Um, Vivian Lyra Blair is Leia Organa. Like, absolutely, she is Leia Organa. And if Carrie Fisher were alive, Carrie would
You would have
protect
loved
this
this.
girl at all costs.
Did you
Because,
see
yeah,
there was a picture I retweeted the other day?
yeah.
Obviously, it's gotten lost in the ether of everything. But no, someone had posted a picture of her smiling as
Hmm.
Leia next to a screen cap of Carrie as Leia. And it's that is her as a
Identical.
Yeah,
child. Yeah.
yeah.
I
Um,
just What if she goes to a convention and meets Billy Lord?
I
oh,
Because
will
I'd be
absolutely
done.
collapse.
Oh, yeah, I'd be done. Yeah.
Billy Lord would love her. Billy
Oh,
I
yeah.
Lord
think
would
so
love
too.
her too.
Um,
And like, God, she was so Leia.
She really
Everything
was.
about her, she just hit all the points.
oh, yeah.
And
And, and,
God, so good.
and I have to say here, every single cast member and crew member of this show deserves an Emmy for
They were
Hmm.
everything that
so
they just
good.
brought. Deborah Chow deserves every Star Wars project ever. Her and Bryce Dallas Howard and Ron Howard deserve every Star Wars project ever.
just give them the
And
checkbooks.
Yeah,
Kathleen, can I just sign
exactly.
the check? Slide it across.
The two
Now,
of them directing as much Star Wars as they have recently, it's just like, I don't know, anyone who's like, questions whether or not women should be directing Star Wars, which for a long time I feel like that was like this is the like a boys club, like as far as what
yeah,
fans wanted.
yeah,
Like
it was.
people couldn't see a woman directing Star Wars. And now
Mhm.
that it's happening, it's like, okay, now like gotta hear with this because like we see that they're doing a great job.
Yeah,
Like
Well, and
probably better than some men.
I
here's
would.
the thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Ira.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think people can't get over this Star Wars is for boys thing. And I think that when you compare a lot of the recent things that have come out from Lucasfilm, if you look at those met through the female gaze, there is a more cohesive storyline. There is a depth of emotion. There is a character study that happens. And it only enriches Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Nostalgia is great. The pew pews are great. The laser swords are great.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. I love all of that. I love Star Wars.
Yeah,
But you need to have depth. You need to have story. You need to have plot in order to have action.
yeah,
And people get so caught up in wanting nostalgia and wanting what they've already seen that they cannot embrace the new things that they are given. And I'm just really sick of it.
yeah.
Like, look at these projects for what they are. They're beautiful.
Hmm. I want to say this real quick, and this is no knock on Favreau and Filoni, but they would not have been able to stick this landing.
No.
They need to let others play in their sandbox. Their
They
sandbox is
do.
great.
Oh,
If they
yeah.
want to keep
Yeah.
doing Mando, that's great, but
Hmm.
please let other people play.
Yeah.
Do not take all the toys and go to one side of the sandbox. That's
No,
rude.
Yeah.
I
Like
totally
we're
agree.
playing over here, the girls can't play with them.
Yeah. And I totally
Who gives
agree.
that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. The He-Man Woman Haters Club from the Little Rascals over there,
Oh my
with
god,
Favreau and
yes.
Filoni.
How much did we hear about that like when we were kids? Like every
Yeah,
kid like latched onto that.
yeah.
How I mean, have you guys seen Mark Hamill's when a girl bought Star Wars shoes and her mom tweeted it at Mark Hamill and said, everybody at school keeps telling her Star Wars is for boys. What do you say? And Mark Hamill's like, you know what? If Leia hadn't come in, Han and Luke's rescue on the Death Star would have been a real short movie. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
They would have died on the Death Star if it
Someone
hadn't been
needed to
for
save
Leia.
their skin.
100%. They barely had a plan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
so
They're
I
like
no,
the
was so
Guardians of the
annoyed
Galaxy,
because
like they've
she's
got
like,
yeah,
12%.
you
exactly.
didn't have a plan. You barely have a working vehicle.
Well, I mean, come on. That is a trashy space Ford Pinto. Okay?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where the Mandalorian was driving around in the space Honda, this is the space Ford Pinto.
Yeah,
Anyway,
except for the Mandalorian now has like I don't know
it's
Space
the
a
space.
sports
Corvette.
car.
He's got a freaking Ferrari now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like going back to the Han thing, the Han and Luke rescue, no mere amount of Ben Kenobi is going to save your ass on the Death Star.
Nope.
I mean, he did what he had to do, but Leia is the ultimate hero in that movie, honestly.
Doing things.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah,
She not only took control of her own rescue, but then she rescued them.
yeah. Melissa in chat says, I just rewatched the scene where Luke rescues Leia, and he says, he's with Ben Kenobi, and she screams his name and jumps. Oh my, oh my God, my heart. Absolutely, like that just has even more meaning now.
She's like, I'm sorry, you're coming to rescue me. Oh shit, Ben Kenobi's here. I feel like he might know what's
Yes.
going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a thought to add to that though.
Sure.
Like obviously Ben knows what he's working with Han and Chewie and Luke and the barely functioning space vehicle. But he knows who they're going to rescue. And like you have to wonder how much of him was expecting that she was going to do exactly what she did.
It's
Oh,
like
He
she's
knew.
probably
He
fine,
knew.
you
but she
know,
just needs a working car.
He was like,
you know, if Obi-Wan ran into her, he'd be like, "You take the reins. I'm done."
oh, and
You
not
got
only
this.
that, but he'd be like, listen, this is your brother. He's not as mature as you, so I'm just
Exactly.
gonna need you to kind of help him with this.
So,
Like,
so while you were trying to run a planet, he was busy on top of the hovel pod racing.
Well,
Look,
and the thing
I know,
is,
it's a great moment.
you can't even fault him for
No.
by the end of the show saying, let him be a kid.
Yeah.
Like that was just because he saw what happened with Leia. Like
Hmm.
she matured so much and he's like, "You're 10. Like I'm not giving you a gun. How do you know so much?" Like you're
Um,
10 and then you see Luke and he's just this precious little boy and I'm sure he saw so much of Anakin in him
oh, he
that
did.
he was just like, yeah.
I just feel like also Ben Kenobi this entire show, like he told her in the early episodes because he was trying not to think about her dad. He kept telling her, trying to say, "No, you're like your mother. You're like your mother." And in his mind, he's like, "Oh my God, she's her father."
Yeah,
Yeah.
she really
100%.
is.
100% she is so Anakin.
She
He's
is.
like, "Oh my God, I've had this conversation with a 9-year-old before, and I don't think it went well then either."
Um, Melissa also brings up two good points. One is about our favorite hunk of junk. She says, notice it was mainly Ray who kept the Falcon going later.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
The
And
was.
one, the one I'm pointing to, fit the
yeah,
one I'm pointing
yeah,
to.
yeah, exactly. And then the second thing was Ben looks at Leia before he puts his saber down in the duel with Vader, which that even has more of an impact now.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he looks over and sees that they are safe and they are reunited and the twins are together, you see the little smile come across his face. I'm going to start crying. You see the little smile come across his face, and he's just like, you can tell he's like, you know what, they're going to be okay. And it's just like,
Yeah.
damn, like his whole goal was to watch over the boy and take care of them and reunite them because he knew they had a greater purpose in all of it. And, their father
It's okay.
was the chosen, thank you.
Yeah.
Their father was the chosen one, but he could not have fulfilled the prophecy without his children
Hmm.
coming to save him.
Yeah.
And they each had their hope restored by one of the twins.
Hmm. And it's really interesting because the only time you see Ben laugh outside of the prequels
Is
is
with
with
Leia.
Leia.
Yeah.
Leia's the it's really interesting. A Skywalker made him laugh the last time before everything went to shit. And then a Skywalker's the one to make him laugh and feel alive again.
Yeah.
Can we
Well,
talk
and
about that? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say,
Rachel, go
the
ahead.
friendship between Obi-Wan and Bail.
Uh,
I have to say,
I,
I confess, if Bail Organa was once I saw Alderaan, I was like, "Oh, we're seeing little Leia. Oh my God, are we gonna see Bail?" I love Bail Organa.
Yeah, me too.
Me
Love
too.
this man
Yeah.
so much. I might have screamed in the theater when he walked out of the shadows during Rogue One.
same.
Oh,
Can neither
we
Didn't
confirm
we
nor
we all
deny.
all?
did. We all did.
Fail watch.
Yeah.
But so just that when Obi-Wan says, "Call me again if you need me," and you realize, we may know they talk again, but the one time Bail really, really needs something.
Calls him and he comes.
He
Yeah.
calls him and he comes, but it's not him that finishes the mission, it's Leia. This one that Obi-Wan traveled the galaxy for before, and now he hears she needs help, and he's like, and we're gonna go.
Only a Skywalker could get
Yeah.
Obi-Wan off planet.
He's
That's
like,
true.
and it's probably just like, honestly, I feel like after meeting her as a 9-year-old, Ben's like, she might need help, but mainly she just might need me to go clean up a couple bodies.
Yeah.
So I do have a question here. Because we talk about Anakin being the chosen one, and he is, but ultimately it's the Skywalker twins that are the chosen ones. And
It's
more
all of them.
importantly, it's the entire Skywalker clan. But I
Yeah.
will say here, and Melissa just broke me for a second
Yeah, same. I saw
in
that.
chat. Um,
Wait. What was it?
she said, "I
Oh,
trust
I
her
will
with my
trust her with
life."
my life.
Oh
yeah.
my God, why would you say that,
Um,
Missy?
Melissa's breaking
Yeah.
us.
but ultimately, I think Leia's the chosen one because she's the one that actually she's the balance in the Skywalker family, in my opinion.
She's the
She's
one
like,
who brings her son back to the light
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
she brings her son back to the light, and she gives Luke the strength to bring Vader back to the light too. I mean, she's the anchor of that family. And Melissa, you're not sorry. Don't say that you're sorry.
No,
Um,
I've
yeah.
if you haven't figured out, Melissa and I are friends in real
Oh
life,
yeah.
and she's not sorry. She's
No.
not sorry.
But that was just my thought as I was thinking about it because like we talk about the chosen one, we talk about how it's Anakin, and Anakin actually did ultimately bring balance to the Force because
He
you had
brings
two and two.
balance to the force.
Yeah, because at the
Sorry.
end of the prequel trilogy, you have two on the dark with Palpatine and Anakin, and then you have two on the light with Luke and Leia. So ultimately, he does bring that balance, but Leia to me is actually the chosen one out of this whole thing. And she's the one
I
that
could
doesn't even become a Jedi.
I could see, I don't know if she's necessarily in my mind the chosen one, but she is a facilitator of change
She
in
is.
order to bring the balance.
Yeah.
And when you look at how she interacts with Obi-Wan in this show, um, you realize that at the beginning of the show, Obi-Wan is obviously very broken still
Hmm.
and dealing with what happened, 10 years prior. And it isn't until I'm gonna hurt you guys. It isn't until Leia asks him about the Force that you see his first spark of hope come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he's forced to use the Force to save her, and then she says, "What's it like?" And he says, "Have you ever been afraid of the dark?" It's like turning on the light.
Hmm.
Such a good
And
description.
Yeah.
such a good description. And she turns on the light for Obi-Wan.
Hmm.
She turns on the light for Luke.
Yeah.
Like, she is the facilitator of bringing back hope.
And she's also the
Leia is the new
one.
hope.
Yeah.
More
Yeah.
than anything, Leia is the new hope.
She really is, and she's also the one that brings Han back to the light as well.
Yeah.
Through
Yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah,
because I mean Han necessarily wasn't dark, but like he was getting there, and
He
she's
was
the one that
struggling with
brings
doing the
yeah,
right thing.
exactly,
yeah,
and she's the one that told him like you can be a good guy, like, and Han
yeah.
embraces that. No, Melissa, you cannot have a space camel, sorry.
I really
Aw,
I
he'll be
like what
handy.
my friend in the chat is actually here, and he said that from the book, from a certain point of view for Empire,
Hmm.
Yoda was expecting Leia to come train, and 100%.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, look at how strong she is. Look at
Hmm.
how strong she is against Riva.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm sorry, is this a staring contest? Like, okay.
I got big Poe and Kylo Ren vibes with that scene too.
Yes.
One of
Ben
Yeah.
Solo gets all of his sass from his mother.
Oh, he clearly
100%.
does.
100%.
one of
There's a
my
little
friends
bit
is
of Han
like,
there.
as a
There's
parent, I felt that scene. He's like, it's every time my 10-year-old says something, I'm like, really, who's in charge here? Because I thought it was me. I'm like, no.
no.
So I just wanted to
Yeah.
share real quick that my youngest she's almost 9. So
Hmm.
she's like right in that little Leia age group.
Hmm.
Um, she is very headstrong, and there's so much of what I was seeing Leia say to Reva that I was like, my kid would be saying the exact same crap in this
Yeah.
situation because she takes nothing from no one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I need
which
my
just
daughter
kind
to
of
have
made
a
me
strong
proud.
will, but not today and not in this grocery store.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, I've had those moments.
Well, can we go ahead, Ira, before I bring up my next point because I saw that you wanted to say something.
Oh, no, I was just agreeing. I'm just vibing right now. Like I keep thinking about different things to bring up, and it's just, especially in the finale,
Yeah.
like so many parallels, so much pain. Like Just gonna have to lie down and cry.
Can we just talk about how, like, in the finale, when Leia gets back to Alderaan, she has the holster, she has Tala's holster, and her mom doesn't even question it. She's just
Yeah, she's
like,
like, "Is that
yeah,
a
it's
holster?"
fine, love it.
Cool.
And then, like, her dad sees it, and he doesn't say anything. Bail Organa just goes, oh, okay, yeah, this is happening. Like
I
just lets it go.
I feel like having raised Leia for 10 years, they have probably seen weirder things and they have
Probably.
probably learned to pick their battles. And they're
Yeah.
like, you know what? It's fine. She hasn't punched anyone today. It's fine.
Especially,
You know,
or any
it's
cousins.
right. And it's not just that she wore the holster, it's that she wore the gloves that she made him buy.
Mhm.
Dude,
And
Uh-huh.
then she had like her little boots. Like
Yeah.
she was like dressing up like him. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god. So
And
sweet.
oh, she is so perfectly cast as Leia, and she just embraced that script so much. Um, I want to get to
I wonder, can
yeah,
I screen share real quick?
yeah, sure,
Please.
I had a thing I want to show you guys.
yeah.
She's got a thing.
I got a
You got a
thing.
thing? Let's do it.
sorry I keep picking up dogs. They're having a day.
Oh
It's
no, you're fine.
okay.
All right, so now we got to click watch stream real quick here. Hold on. There we go.
So when Leia got dressed in that outfit at the end of the episode,
Yep.
Yes.
big, big comic vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So
Yeah.
now I'm kind of wondering, is that Tal's holster that she still has
I think it is.
all those years
I bet
later?
it
It must
is.
be.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you think she'd take it off planet with her, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I had a friend's daughter, my honorary little niece, decided to dress up as Leia for Halloween this coming year, but the problem was she didn't have anywhere to put her blaster. So Aunt Rachel is a cosplayer and whipped her up a holster. So I have pictures of my honorary niece as Leia, who, mind you, doesn't wear a holster in the dress outfit, but she's got a holster because, darn it, she's gonna have somewhere to put that blaster. And
I
so
love it.
when Leia started wearing a holster, I might have cried a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh my gosh.
So I want to
Also, like,
get
yay, Aunt Rachel making Leia a holster.
yeah.
That's great.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
come
yeah, it was
on.
like
Let's go.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry, Halloween's in less than a week, and I'd have to mail it to you. Yeah, let me get right on that. I believe I said the phrase, oh, I've got a scrap of fabric I've been saving for something. And somebody's like, of course you do. You know what fabric I've saved for a special day? Well, today we're actually going to use it. It's fine. Usually it
Nice.
That's
just
the
sits there
best.
waiting for the day that's never going to come.
So I want to talk about the one of the greatest performances in this show, and that is Hayden Christensen.
Yes.
His voice broke me when it
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
through
Absolutely.
as Hayden and not James Earl Jones. I was gone.
But I want to before we get to that scene in the finale, I got to tell you, his body acting with the James Earl Jones dialogue was absolutely incredible in that.
And this is where we give props to James Earl Jones too,
Yeah,
because, and I pointed this out to my husband while we were watching it. I'm like, the way he's delivering this dialogue sounds like how Hayden would deliver this dialogue.
absolutely.
It's like it was like multiple facets of
Hmm.
Vader
Yeah,
coming
Hmm.
together into one. And, James Earl Jones is older,
yeah.
and
Yep.
this is a very aggressive role.
Hmm.
And, if you're a voice actor, it can like take a little bit of a toll on your voice.
Hmm.
So for him to be able to put so much angsty Vader
Hmm.
into the delivery is just,
Yeah.
it was incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, they outdid themselves.
And I gotta say, leading up to the finale, when we get the flashback of them sparring in the same room that the younglings get attacked in the very first episode,
Hmm.
seeing cocky Anakin again, just it warmed my heart.
So good.
And especially after reading Brotherhood. If you've never read
Oh,
Brotherhood, you should, because that book broke my heart.
I
It's
just
that.
stomped on my heart.
Yeah,
and Mike Chen actually donated to our
he did.
fundraiser.
He
He
really
did,
did.
and it was my heart just. I haven't read Brotherhood yet, but I
Mhm.
really want to.
It's
It's
really good.
it's very good, and it
It's a
will.
quick.
Yeah, it's very quick for Star Wars read. It's very quick. It's
Mhm.
only like 300 something pages, so it's pretty quick. But
I have
um,
the audiobook that I downloaded and I haven't started it yet, but maybe that should be my Sunday thing that I do.
you
Peer
should.
pressure.
Yeah,
Do
peer
it.
pressure. Do
Do it.
it. Do it.
Next.
But like having read that, just everything, those interactions between Obi-Wan and Anakin slash Vader just hit so much harder considering what they went through in Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just the world building that happens with this and then like the book to have
Hmm.
like the tie in there, it's so good, and it brings so much depth to
Yeah.
their relationship. Like there's a reason it's called brotherhood.
Yeah.
Like they are
Yeah.
brothers,
And
and
yeah.
it
You
hurts.
were my brother, Anakin. I
Yeah.
loved you.
And this show really points out that they are brothers.
Yeah.
It really
Especially
did, yeah.
earlier on where like Obi-Wan doesn't know whether or not to believe Riva about Anakin at first. And then
Yeah.
it finally dawns on him. He's like, "Oh shit, my brother's alive. Um, I have to confront him again."
And to play off of that, when he does confront him, one, we get an explanation for the gash in his head
Yeah.
because
Yes,
of where he hits him.
that was
But
amazing.
we see Anakin Skywalker briefly,
Yeah.
not just in how they do the duality with the colors, the red, the blue, the
Hmm.
conflict, but you see the blue eye of Anakin Skywalker
Yeah.
telling Obi-Wan essentially to forgive himself
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're brothers and he knows that Obi-Wan has probably been racking himself with guilt, and he took that moment to say, you didn't kill Anakin,
Yeah.
I did. And then all of a sudden he flips the switch back,
Yeah.
and it hurts so much because you see like this wave of emotion hit Obi-Wan, like, oh shit, thank God. Like I can kind of forgive myself. But then you also see how much pain he's in from realizing like there's nothing he can be done. My brother is truly dead.
Well, there's that glimmer of light, like you said, like when you see Anakin's blue eye under the mask, there's that
Mhm.
glimmer that the light is still there, and
Yeah.
that hope is still there, and Obi-Wan's trying to play on that. He sees that glimmer. Go ahead.
It reminds me of the lighting in the scene where Kylo Ren kills Han.
Yes.
Yes.
I was about
Yes.
to say that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Brain twins.
Yeah,
Yes.
the red light overtaking everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was gonna
It's the
say
Because
too,
bisexual
obviously.
brain meld.
mhm.
Yeah. We all just share one brain cell between
Collective
us.
brain. Yeah.
I was just gonna say too, because it's obviously very reminiscent, I mean, even cinematically or like, the filming of it to the scene from Rebels
Yes.
where Vader fights Ahsoka and she breaks his mask and it's the opposite side.
Hmm.
Um, so I saw like someone put together like a little edit of it or like, just like a series of screenshots. So you have in Obi-Wan that the left half of his mask is destroyed and we see his face and he gets a scar. Then in Rebels, it's the right side of the mask that's
Hmm.
destroyed against Ahsoka. And then it's not until he's dying essentially that Luke takes the full helmet off and we see him again. And
Hmm.
it's like, Luke obviously is the one to bring him fully back to the light,
Yeah.
but like it wasn't without the help from Ahsoka and Obi-Wan before him.
Yeah.
Like it all works together to pull him back.
Yeah.
Are you guys sorry? Getting weird background noise just to check from me. It's storming.
Oh no.
Not really.
Okay, good.
No. You're good.
Okay. I just
Um.
wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Oh, hey pup.
Um.
Sorry, they don't like storms.
I don't blame them. That's why I have cats, because we have storms like all the time here and they
Yeah.
don't freak out. So
We're not scared. We just have to currently be touching Mom, otherwise we're gonna lose it.
my cat
Dante?
was actually sitting behind me on the chair for like that entire opening section, the heavy
Oh,
stuff.
really?
Yeah,
Well, at least you
I
had a fur friend behind you.
I did.
Yeah.
yeah, in the
Yes,
comment in the chat here,
Yeah.
my friend says I was curious why the lightsabers were so bright in the show, and it was probably set up for this last conversation. And I have to say, my one itty bitty teeny tiny complaint about this show is that it's very dark. And so I'm
It
very glad
is.
that the lightsabers were so bright, because I'd be watching on my phone and I'd be like, I still can't see what's happening. Like,
But
so that's
that's like a
my
trend for television now. Television and
Yeah.
movies. I'm like, hello. I don't care if you want to make a dark, as in thematically dark movie, but turn up the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I watched The Batman, and I'm like, I can't see a damn thing. And I
yeah.
realized I was complaining about the light in movies, and I'm like, and I'm gonna go get my AIRP card.
Well, I will say,
Oh,
yeah, go ahead, Lavender. Go ahead.
just the scene with Riva chasing
Yeah.
Luke through Tatooine, that was also very dark, and we had no lightsabers to help us there. And
Yeah.
I was just like, what is this, Game of Thrones?
Yeah. Yeah, I kept thinking I was watching the Battle of Winterfell again.
Right?
Which was very hard to follow.
It
Um,
was.
which I will say this though. It's interesting because the first I mean, every single episode up until the very end of this finale is very dark in tone and lighting, and it's not until we get Obi-Wan on Alderaan with Leia that the light actually just like it really brightens up because when he goes and visits Luke on Tatooine, it's very bright and everything's very hopeful at the same time.
Yeah. And I think that
Focus
was
comes back.
partly
Yeah.
to just show like that restoration of hope, the
Yeah.
restoration of his like faith in the Force. But
Mhm.
they I just feel like it didn't have to be that dark.
No,
But
it didn't.
that's
Obi-Wan's
just
wardrobe changed too.
that was a
did.
To the lighter.
treat. I
It
loved,
was.
and we got shirtless Obi-Wan in a back to tank. So I mean,
Well,
super happy.
I was
we were
wondering if we were
wondering
going
if
to
we were
get
going to
him
see
some
that.
tidy whities. I was wondering if there was going to be tidy whities like Boba Fett, and I didn't think my friends were going to make it through that one alive.
I wouldn't have. I would have actually like. I would have just.
So now I know who to watch the Disney Plus Star Wars shows with from now on. Just this group right here.
Just all the fangirling.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ewan
I don't know
McGregor.
if we-
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor has been my husband since 1999, and getting to meet him at Celebration was so.
Do you
I
know
mean,
how
that was
jealous I was of you?
he called me pretty.
Oh,
But
Yeah, it was very special. But yeah,
yeah. I want to say this though. I want to get to Riva, and then I want to kind of start to close this up here with
yeah.
looking back on the prequels. But I will say this: Moses Ingram is by far one of the best new additions to Star Wars canon.
she is wonderful.
I mean,
Incredible.
one of the best new actors, and her character is one of the best new additions to Star Wars canon.
I can't wait to see more of Riva. You know
I
we
love.
will.
Oh, absolutely.
I
And
wanna
I
see
love
her
that they
with
gave her
Cal
new
Kestis.
story.
Yeah.
Like, to be like, here's a Padawan who survived and decided to get revenge on Vader by going up the ranks in the Inquisitorius
Mhm.
program and then trying to get to Grand Inquisitor so she could kill Vader. What?
Yeah.
Like, are
Mhm.
you kidding me? How is that not like the coolest thing? Like the coolest storyline? Like people, I can't believe people didn't appreciate that.
I would love to see her with Cal Kestis, honestly,
Me too.
because I think they would play off of each other very well.
Hey, did Rachel freeze?
I think so. She's been like this for a few
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. Rachel,
Oh no.
if you can back out and then come back in. But yeah, and
Melissa,
Melissa,
oh my God.
yeah, Melissa just
Yep, there
said
she
I
is.
want her to join the path. Absolutely.
Yes.
Like she should be
If
involved in the path.
Okay,
I feel like
but
that's where they're going.
Yeah.
Hey guys, sorry, my power went out for about 3 seconds, so I lost Wi.
oh
Oh no, are you okay?
Yeah, no, we're fine. It's just
Okay.
it blipped enough that it knocked my router out of commission,
Oh.
so it's rebooting.
Okay.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
I just had a thought because we keep
Yeah.
talking about and just online and in our sphere of fandom and such,
Mhm.
the path as like a Disney Plus series potentially.
Yeah.
But what if that's gonna be the third Fallen Order?
So after Jedi Survivor, we get
Path.
Jedi the
Yeah.
Path.
The book,
Ooh.
guys, the book about the Jedi, like the guidebook for the Jedi that they published is called The Jedi Path.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
that is
That's
true.
true.
Yeah, and that had like the different forms of fighting and all
Mhm.
that stuff. Yeah. If they do a Path Disney Plus series, they have to bring in Quinlan Voss.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
teased him too much for them
Quinlan.
to not do
I'm
that.
I
Yeah.
was kind of surprised we didn't actually get a Quinlan appearance or like more than just a name drop.
Me too.
But
They're holding it for that Disney Plus show. If
yeah.
they do it.
If they brought Riva back, that's my wife, and I will not hear a word against her.
No.
We love
Amen.
her. She's great.
Yeah, she's amazing. And I didn't know that she was from my area, like literally Baltimore. I didn't know that she was from there, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But terrific actor, absolutely terrific.
She just booked another a project with Natalie Portman because of how well she was received in Kenobi.
Yep.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, I
And
think
Natalie Portman is my first wife, so
I mean, she's everyone's first
Yeah,
wife.
whoever didn't have a crush on Natalie Portman starting in 1999, you're
She
yeah.
was
Okay,
my
look.
bisexual awakening.
I would like to say that I didn't come out until I was almost 28 because I thought all women had a gigantic crush on Natalie Portman. Turns out that's not actually something straight women do.
It was her
No.
and Rachel Weisz for me, like the Mummy.
Oh
And like
yeah. Yeah.
okay, so it was the perfect like the Holy Trinity. Here's our Pride Month conversation here.
Sure.
The Mummy, The Matrix, and The Phantom Menace
Mhm.
Oh, The
all
I have
came
Matrix
to
out
give
in
because
the
it.
of
same month.
yeah.
Carrie Ann Moss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those all came
Yep.
out in the same month. And yeah, I was like, okay, I like all the boys in these movies, but all yeah, they're all amazing too. So
So let's talk about the prequels here. And Lavender, you and I talked about this a few weeks back, or a couple of months back, actually, when
we
they.
lost Rachel. Oh, wait, there she is.
Yeah. We talked about this a few months back when they started doing the Kenobi press tour.
Mhm.
With how when Ewan McGregor was talking about how we as the prequel kids, we showed them all the love back in the 90s, but like they didn't quite receive it until the age of social media. It We as prequel kids, we're eating real good right now.
Oh yeah,
That.
I
I
want to
got a nice
recreate
full
my.
tummy.
My
I
fandom is
love
Ewan
your
McGregor.
fandom. My fandom is Ewan McGregor shirt. That's
Yeah.
Thank
perfect.
you. It's from a fan of. Tip is amazing.
But it's really interesting to see this love of the prequels happening. Um, I believe in a few years we're gonna get that with the sequel trilogy. But
I think so too. The kids that were watching the sequel trilogy,
yeah,
the way that we were kids when the prequels
hmm
came out.
because
Yeah,
Lavender, you and I are about the same age, so like we were
I think we were
graduating. Yeah,
87.
yeah. So we were graduating high school when Sith came out,
Yes,
and for us
it
that
was
was it.
on the day I graduated high school. Actually,
That's right. It was right around that time that I graduated
yeah,
too. Uh,
it was that day, and I was so mad that it was happening at the same time because I was like, can I go to
Ira,
the movies?
I take it you're around our age too.
I'm in 92, baby.
That's
So
okay.
I'll be
That's okay.
30.
Years
Yeah, I'll be
younger.
30 in a couple weeks.
Oh,
So
you're
Okay.
Ira's my age then. I just turned 30 in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
very nice.
So
Yep.
we're all prequel kids. We're all
Yeah.
prequel kids.
I didn't watch the prequels till I was 18.
It's okay.
That's okay.
It's
That's
okay.
okay.
You
We
still
still
watch
accept
You're
you.
still in that
I
generation
do
bubble.
remember So the prequels, Revenge of the Sith was what, 06? So I would have been
05.
05.
Yeah.
Would have been 13. And I remember reading about it in Time Magazine because Time Magazine did a big spread about it because I read Time Magazine when I was 13, which is all you need to know about why I didn't have friends.
Long distance high five.
Yeah. I think we were all nerds back then, but
Yeah.
I
Back
yeah.
then.
I'm still a nerd. I
I'm still a nerd.
recently found these concepts, and I actually posted about this on my TikTok. I found these
pickle.
concepts from 3rd grade that I wrote for my own Star Wars novels. When I never got to the plot, it was just lists of characters that would be in it, and like one of them had like familiar phrases like on the inside cover, and I put "May the Force be with you." Like it was the stupidest effing thing, but like I was a child and it was mine, and I wrote a lot of Obi-Wan.
But like who didn't fall in love with those characters when you first watched The Phantom Menace? Like
Yeah.
Qui-Gon, absolutely. And
I
oh
miss
my God.
Qui-Gon. Seeing Qui-Gon again, and he was sassy right off the bat. He's like, "Well,
So
it's about
sassy.
fucking time."
We
You guys
we
seen
called it.
the
Sorry.
picture somebody made that it's that picture of
Oh,
him holding the umbrella on the
Yeah.
set of the Phantom
Yes.
Menace, and they
yeah,
made
with the
that the Force Ghost
sunglasses.
picture.
Don't forget to hydrate and wear sunscreen.
My my sister put that, and she goes, "No, that was canon. I swore I saw." He handed Obi-Wan a margarita, and Obi-Wan took a sip and said, "I have a bad feeling about this." That's how the show ended, right? I'm like, please,
That's exactly
write,
it.
write new Star Wars shows.
Actually,
that.
I was just thinking that if Qui-Gon handed Obi-Wan the Force margarita, Obi-Wan would have had another hello there and then started
Yeah.
drinking it.
Hello there, tequila.
Yeah.
That was like that he said hello there. I was like, shut up. Like,
If
Yeah.
you
was
closed your
yeah.
eyes, it was Alec Guinness.
It was. It
well, you
really
guys
was.
have seen that try gif from IGN, right?
Yeah.
Where it's the 3 times that he goes, hello there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh,
And I will
I
say
just love
this.
this show.
We called Qui-Gon being part of this show. I mean,
We called
all of us did.
Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
And okay, one other thing that I'm really proud of, I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier in our discussion of Obi-Wan.
Mm.
I called the Tala thing.
You did.
I did. She
Yeah.
was not evil.
Nope.
I just Palpatine. Did anybody call Palpatine?
Yes. Oh my
Nope.
god.
I thought that
look,
they were
that's-
going to stay away from him. I really thought they were going to.
I want
That
to
had
say,
big. Oh, go ahead.
oh no, you say your thing first.
I was just gonna say that had big stop working on personal projects on work time vibes.
Yeah, yes. It
Vader,
really
just-
did.
Vader, we've talked about this.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part is that if you guys have read the Darth Vader comics from 2015 and on,
Yeah.
their relationship dramatically changes after Revenge of the Sith. Where it goes from where Palpatine's like, "Oh, you're my friend," her, to suddenly he's a dick.
Yeah.
Like Palpatine's a straight up asshole to Vader, and seeing more of that, a little bit of a glimpse in live action and like that call to the comics was just really good because you could see even through the mask Vader's hesitation of being like, yeah, no, Kenobi means nothing because he's afraid of what Palpatine's going to do.
Well, you definitely see it in Greg Pak's Into the Fire from the
Mhm.
current run, especially
Yeah.
when Vader gets to Exegol, because
Yes.
Palpatine shuts him down fast.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, speaking of Exegol, that the same thing with Snoke and Ben Solo, like the
Yeah.
whole in
Mhm.
Rise of Kylo Ren, where he's all like, "Oh, I'm your friend. You come to me, and I can understand you," and like all that stuff. And then
Yep.
as soon as he actually has him under his thumb, he
He's
does
an
the same thing that
asshole.
Palpatine does to Vader.
Because that's
Yeah.
on the Amaxine station, right?
It
That
is on
that
the
goes at,
Amaxine
yeah.
Station from Into the Dark.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
High Republic.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's all connected. It goes
Yeah.
all the way to the top.
It does.
I was
almost
talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I was chilling on Radio Rebellion stream earlier, and I think it was Odie was mentioning what Obi-Wan's finding out is the same thing that Reith is finding out with why can't a Jedi go to the top of the Kyber Arch alone?
Yeah.
They're never alone.
Hmm.
And just I've always been, the Qui-Gon's, I've always been here, you just haven't been looking. And it's just like, my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
But
was a mess.
I
but
needed to not cry at like 8 in the morning. It was fine.
I
and
cried
that
so many times in this episode.
and that was the whole point because it needed to have those bittersweet moments and those emotional moments
Yeah.
because Obi-Wan and Vader double down on where they are like in that finale. Like they finally have to double down because we have to see where they are 10 years later. I believe it's 10 years later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The timeline's really confusing for this a little
Especially
bit.
when we add in like Fallen Order to the mix and Rebels
Yeah.
and everything, like, because we know all of these things, but then it's like trying to get your brain to remember which order they all go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But seeing Qui-Gon, that even just put Master and Apprentice, both the short story and the book, that just drove it home for me too. Um,
That's such a good book, and so many people overlook it.
oh, they
It
do.
Yes.
really
They
is.
really do. Um, you know what? We're gonna have to just do a big book discussion here at some point
We
again
are,
and
yeah.
just
Yeah.
recommend books.
Have y'all read Rebel Rising? Because I would
I
like,
have
Yes.
not yet.
Haven't, and I need to.
Yeah.
when y'all read it, if you'd ever consider having me back, if I cannot,
Absolutely.
talk
Nope,
over everybody,
never, never. We
No,
I,
wouldn't
you're
want to talk about
terrible. We hate you.
I would like, I would like to talk to her about our Lord and Savior Jin Urso.
Oh yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
before we get to Cassian, I want to do a Rogue One deep dive of
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Guardians of the
Catalyst.
right.
Wills,
Hello, have we met?
Catalyst, all
Catalyst.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Rebel Rising, all of
Yeah.
that.
Catalyst was freaking amazing. I love that
Catalyst
book.
was amazing.
I
Catalyst
haven't.
made
That's the
Rogue
one I
One.
haven't finished.
Oh,
I
Actually,
love
but
it. It dives into
Do it.
Galen and Lyra's story
yeah.
so much
yeah.
more.
I will tell you this, Alexander Freed's Rogue One novelization is absolutely incredible.
Top tier.
I
It's
sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
When we did my birthday reading, our finale, because we always just did Hope as the
Mm.
end of it, and this time I wanted, one of my friends came in to read for Mon Mothma, and I wanted to give her a speech, so I had to read the last bit of Mon Mothma's words on Jen,
Mm.
of the, I don't know, in a kinder world she would have walked away from Scarif, I don't know what she would have become, but she would have been extraordinary.
Oh yeah.
I cannot, with that,
Yeah.
The
Um
Rogue One novelization for me is up there with the Revenge of the Sith one.
oh, Matt Stover's Revenge of the Sith novelization. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I will say this about Alexander Freed. He needs to write more Star Wars stuff.
I just need to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
hug
this book so
if you have
much.
your Revenge of the Sith novelizations, hug it close tonight. Just hug
um,
it close.
I need to do a reread.
Yeah.
please
Same.
substitute one or more Cheweenies.
We should do a reread for the podcast.
Actually, yeah. I mean, so
So good.
definitely right
This is
before
my
Andor, so like I want to do a couple of shows that just talk about Rogue One and really just go into that. Because I think,
Yeah.
oh no, you're coming back. Like,
That's a threat.
This is not signed by Matthew Stover, but it
it's
is
not.
signed by my uncle who gave it to me as my graduation
Oh,
present.
that's
That's
beautiful.
cute.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is
He's
gorgeous.
the only other Star Wars fanatic in my, my immediate
Yeah.
family, like before I got married and had kids and stuff, like, my original peoples. He's the only other one that gets it like I do.
Oh, my
Well, if
parents.
you don't have Star Wars fans in your family, you can make your own, apparently.
That's exactly what I did. I made new Star Wars fans. So,
Well, and and just going to family real quick, and we're gonna wrap up here for the evening. Um, I consider you all my family. Like seriously, everybody in chat, everybody here in our Discord server, everybody on our team, all of our guests, everybody, you're our family. And I just want to say, even though I just met a couple of you and some of you, I love you guys. Like seriously, I love you guys. You guys are amazing, and I just want to thank you guys for coming on. Ira, thank you for joining our team. Seriously,
Thank you
by the
for
way.
inviting me.
Oh, absolutely. Rachel, thank you. This was so much fun. I hope that you had a good time.
Oh, I had a great time. I'm
Good.
sorry I went out. Apparently, that's when thunderstorms happen, is when I try and podcast.
It's fine because Luna,
Thank you so much.
if Luna's on, we expect her to just disconnect at some
Always like
point.
at the exact same time
Yeah,
too. It's like
yeah,
For,
Discord runs for so long and then says no more.
yeah.
for Followers of the Force, we actually play a game. David, the one who runs our social media, has bad internet. So we'll be on StreamYard and it'll be something like he will have thrown both his hands up or something and he will freeze. And it's always when he's about to make a point, he's like, and that's what. And we're like, oh, of course.
But
I just want to address chat
yeah,
really fast
yeah,
before we go away from it.
yeah, sure.
But so Dante has a couple points here. Older people didn't like the prequels.
Hmm.
Getting crap for being a prequel kid. And then in the books, Alphabet Squadron, the B-wing pilot Chasna Shattuck says Jyn Erso is the true hero that took down the Death Star.
Yeah,
Which,
Agreed.
I
yes,
love Chas. Chas is
yeah.
my other
I
girl,
love Chas
specifically
too.
because she loves Jin as much as I do. We're
Oh
the
yeah.
two members of the Jin Urso fan club.
I
It's
know.
great.
I loved that backstory for her. That was so great. And then Dante also said Star Wars is all about the family you make and keep. And
Hmm.
I love that there's that found family thread throughout
Yeah,
because, that it resonates with so many of us in the fandom as well.
it does.
Big facts.
And especially during COVID, we built these extended families during the
Yes, we did.
pandemic. Um, and I gotta tell you, um, I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for a few people, and one of them is you, Lavender. So thank
Oh,
you
thank
once
you.
again
I wouldn't
for,
be doing this without you because you started it. So,
uh,
but I'm really glad to be on board.
yeah.
Thank you
Um,
so much for having me. It means a
oh
ton that
yeah.
people are willing to let me talk about my silly space movies.
And I'm
Oh
glad you guys liked me enough to like ask me to join.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
they're silly space movies about space wizards, but they're so relevant to us.
Mm.
They mean so much
Yeah,
and can say so much when we
yeah.
need it.
And here's the thing. Star Wars is for everyone,
Yeah. Right.
and if your Star Wars is just reading books, Star Wars books, that's fine. If it's just watching one trilogy, that's fine, or just one movie, that's fine, or watching just Resistance or Rebels or Bad Batch or Clone Wars or The Mandalorian or what have you, Star Wars is for everyone. And everyone, unless you're a garbage person, will have a place here. And so I just want you guys to know that. Um, but yeah, these are movies about space wizards. They're silly, they're fun, and they provide escape for us.
And
And yeah,
hope.
yeah.
And hope.
And that's the big message. And there you go. You see the
I love
tattoo.
that.
And you see
I
that.
was I've been thinking a lot
Yeah.
about uh
Oh,
the quote. Yeah, your tattoos are amazing. I love the
yeah.
loop.
Yeah, there's my Leia as well. And
Oh
Oh
my
man.
God.
Oh,
I'll have to show you my wife's tattoos also because
They're
she has some good
fantastic.
ones. Yeah.
But yeah, so the just in with everything happening in the last day and a half, basically, one of the quotes that I keep seeing pop up, I feel like we always go back to Padme's "This is how liberty dies" with thundering applause whenever shit is hitting the fan.
Yeah.
And like that's true. But at the same time, we can kind of reframe how we look at it as a fandom, and think of it like how Leia says that hope is like the sun. If you only what is
believe in
it?
it
If you only
when
believe
you
in it
can
when you
see it.
can see it, you'll never make it through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
a
And
Yeah.
good quote.
that's
Um,
keeping me going right now.
yeah. And
Same.
I wish that I could hug each and every person that's here
More
right now.
hugs.
Because I would. But we're in this together. We're gonna get through this together. We're gonna fight together. And please, if you can, donate to What Choice. And if you can't, spread the word. Please just spread the word. Because remember, there are more of us than there are of them. And we are the spark. So that's it for us tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our serious conversation that we had to have at the beginning. Thank you for laughing with us. Thank you for crying with us. Thank you for all of it. We love you. May the force be with you. May you always fight for light and life. And remember, at the end of the day, we are all part of the Republic, or we're all the Republic. Fuck,
You're
I can't.
all the Republic.
Yes. And don't forget, Monday night, we're gonna get drunk and play Fallen Order.
Hell yeah.
So get ready for that, because that is gonna be wild. Yeah, I'm going
Shots,
to.
shots, 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 shots,
Oh,
shots.
oh yeah, I'm gonna be in Discord
keep-
voice chat.
If
Go
we
ahead.
keep donating, can we like have a set amount where like every so much he has to take a shot?
Oh yeah. Oh
Or maybe
yeah.
we should play a drinking game, like whenever like
Ooh.
a purge trooper shows up, or
Let's
I
come up
use
with a
the
Jedi
Force.
Fallen Order drinking game, and then
Yes.
that way
Oh
by
God,
Monday
I'm gonna
night
be
he has to play it
obliterated.
while he's playing.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Make sure though that we temper ourselves and maybe make it like sips
Some
of
water.
beer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Because-
hydrate. I am gonna have to hydrate. But I'm gonna tell you how this sets up real quick before we go. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna stream a Discord voice chat. So I'm actually gonna have the game set up in the Discord voice chat, because that way, if people want to pop up on video, they can pop up on video. You can see their smiling faces. You can hang out, all that fun stuff. So we're gonna have that set up in a Discord voice chat. So that is in our Discord server. Actually, let me share the link to the Discord server in YouTube real quick. Oh wait, let's see here. And then I know you're seeing our Discord server. Oh no.
yes, all the
Unless you don't
secrets.
see my unread messages on Discord, it is a hot mess.
By the way, we're at 12,755 right now on the
Nice.
goal. So here's the Discord.
Incredible.
Join us. Have some fun. Hang out with some like-minded Star Wars fans. We've gone over 2 hours. I am so sorry for how long we've gone. But we had a lot to talk about tonight,
We
and
did.
that is what's important. You can look forward to hanging out with us every Saturday night. We love you. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you Monday night. So get ready. We actually have to plan the drinking game. So
Yes.
see y'all. Bye.